Hello guys, it's Ryan Ho back with another video. Today I want to talk about open back headphones and closed back headphones and which one is better, what's the benefits of each one, right? So I think the common thing is that a lot of people say open back headphones are better than closed back headphones, which in some ways that's true, in some ways it's false. And I think a lot of the things that people don't know is like, why is it not as good as closed back headphones, right? Open back headphones are very airy. There's nothing containing the sound, so everyone can hear you as well as you can hear everybody else as well. So it doesn't really isolate. And that is an issue, right? Versus closed back headphones can isolate well and keep the sound inside without your neighbors hearing you, and you don't need to hear everybody else around you either. That's the most obvious thing, right? But the thing that people don't talk about open back headphones is that open back headphones actually don't perform that well in bass most of the times, at least in my opinion. I find a lot of open back headphones like this gold planar GL2000 to just kind of have this flat bass. Even though it's flat, it also kind of rolls off at the end, meaning that like your bass is kind of very boring. There's not enough quantity in it. That's what I find a lot of open back headphones. They have low quantity. And the second thing I find is that a lot of open back headphones don't really have that much sub bass either. And so I feel like open back headphones really don't play bass all that well. And I've tried a lot of them, and in general, they all kind of exhibit a lot of that very flat and rolled off bass. And it really comes across as really unexciting to me personally. Well, I have a few open back headphones on this table that I do think are a little bit better than the rest. Like this is the EPOS H6 Pro. This headphone kind of has a bass bump and it also has a pretty good sub bass. It's probably one of the better ones that I've heard, and that's why I've kept it when I bought it. And then this headphone is the Tiger 300R. I think this exhibits kind of a little bit more bass than normal, but then it doesn't have much sub bass, so it kind of exhibits, like I said, another one of the qualities of kind of not having that kind of deep bass. And closed back headphones on the flip side are the opposite. I think a lot of times maybe some headphones are tuned overboard and have too much bass, but in general, I find the bass is a lot better on closed back headphones. And if you're a bass lover, I would kind of lean towards closed back headphones more. Like for example, this is the Shure 840A. This is probably the best bass I've ever heard. To be honest, like this bass plays sub bass really well. It plays bass very linearly, so it's very kind of flat in the sense of like the bass and the sub bass are kind of even. But then it has a good quantity of bass too, so you can really feel it and enjoy it. And it just sounds a lot better than kind of any open back headphones I've heard. And I think that's something worth noting about like what open back headphones lack. However, on the flip side, a closed back headphone like this will not sound really big or spacious at all. And it does lose a little bit of that natural kind of airiness factor to it, because like I feel like, you know, when we hear sounds, it's not really that enclosed next to our ear, or it's more like all around us. I think that open back headphones can really like kind of simulate that better and just sound kind of bigger field around your head. And that's definitely something that the open back headphones do very, very well that, well, closed back headphones can't do well. Of course, I've heard more expensive headphones that kind of trick your brain and kind of give you that more sense of space. So those do exist, like the Dan Clark Audio Stealth. That's like $4,000 though, so those are like really expensive that do that really well. But you know, in general, that is the limitation I think of closed back headphones, right? But in the end of the day, which one do I recommend? Honestly, I feel like it's like very situational in the sense like if you know, like I said, if you want to isolate noise better, closed back headphones, as well as just like if you like bass more and you like more modern genres like pop, like EDM type of stuff that require, you know, a little bit more of the low end, you know, I probably encourage people to go more towards the closed backs. I mean, there's open backs, like I said, like this H6 Pro that does bass and sub bass really well. Maybe not as good as this headphone, but it does it really, really well. So I could recommend these headphones as well. But you know, as you get more into the more audiophile headphones, I feel like those headphones get even more or less bassy, at least in my opinion, for open back headphones. So that's my recommendation for people in general. If you want that more like airy, like concert hall type of bigger type of sound, then yeah, open back headphones will give you that type of sound that you're looking for. And I think, open back headphones make more sense in that regard. Another thing worth noting is that, open back headphones tend to have bigger soundstage, but it's not always true. This depends on the headphone. But, bigger soundstage doesn't necessarily mean it's better. I've said this in the past before. Sometimes, you don't want to be listening to your music very far in the back row. Sometimes you want to listen to music feeling like you're right there in the front row, right in front of them, right next to them, that very like intimate experience. So I feel like depending on the person, a smaller kind of space soundstage and closer feeling headphone might be better because, it just feels much more personal. I think that's another factor that can kind of sway someone going one way or the other. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe down below if this helped you. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.